Okay. Good morning to all of you. So try to recall the following. So well-ordering principle. What is well-ordering principle? Go through in your mind. Okay. What is well-ordering principle? Right. Okay. So division algorithm. What do you mean by division algorithm? Right. Definition of division. How we define division? A not equal to 0 and a not equal to 0 is an integer, and it divides another integer b if b is equal to ak for some k. Okay. Definition of GCD. Then we defined Euclidean algorithm. Then Bezoart's identity. And also, while we are defining, whenever we have a definition, then we have some properties also, right? Various properties of division, like A divides B, B divides C, A divides C, A divides B, A divides C also, then A divides their linear combination. Like that, we have many properties, right? Yeah. Then Euclidean algorithm, Bezoart's identity, right? What is Euclidean algorithm? You know. So recursively, I can divide, remainder, take reminders and apply. So I can find GCD, infinite number of steps. Right? This also gives that there exists x and y such that GCD equal to ax plus by by going backwards. So that actually proved in Bezoart's identity. So what it says is that if a comma b are two integers, their GCD is d, then there exists x and y such that d equal to ax plus by. So try to recall the proof also. Okay. So if you done it, then it will be very easy. So go for a walk and recall these things, and proofs also recall how we done it. So if you are not getting, then go to room and again check the notes. So I given complete notes, you know, that I added complete notes also. Very nicely written notes is available. Okay. You can check that place also. And anyhow, I am told that I am taking content from the elementary number theory by Burton. There also you can get it. So linear Diophantine equation. What is that? Okay, that is of the form ax plus by equal to c. That has integer solutions if and only if GCD of AB divides C. And we found all the solutions also. Okay. Then definition of LCM. Then definition of primes and composite numbers. So we proved that every number greater than 1 has a prime factor. So how do you prove that? Greater than 1 has a prime factor, right? And Euclid's lemma, right? Why I put Euclid's lemma I proved before, but why I'm putting here is that while proving this proof P divides AB implies P divides C or P divides B, we will use Euclid's lemma. Okay. Then we have to recall the proof of, right? So we need to recall the proof of, yeah. So there are infinite number of primes. This we done in the last class. Now there is some mistakes I done in my quiz. So just I am telling you, a power n minus 1 is a prime number. I have to put a greater than 1 and greater than 1 also. That I forgot. Okay. So, okay. Now let us discuss that. That's why. Okay. So a power n minus 1 is a prime number. A greater than 1, n greater than 1. Then we claim that a equal to 2. Okay. How to prove that? This is the question number 1. Okay. Now 2 power n minus 1 is a prime number and n greater than 1. This also important. Then prime number, of course, prime number say n greater than 1 automatically comes. If it's n equal to 1, it is not a prime. So here it is not equal. 2 power n minus 1 is a prime. Then n is composite. Then n is composite. So how many of you able to prove this? Okay, go slowly. First thing is that how do you prove that if a power n minus 1 is a prime number, then a equal to 2. Of course, a greater than 1, n greater than 1 are there automatically as a part. So how do you prove that? How do you prove that a equal to 2? Yeah, okay. So one of you told you can tell. Yeah, Kaustubh, yeah, go.
Sir, I have a question. A raised to n minus 1 is a prime, then A is equal to 2 or n is equal to 1 is the correct statement again.
No, no,
Because we can
no,
take
no, no,
A
no.
is equal to
Wait, wait.
6.
Okay, so I given this actually. I given a power n minus one is a prime number is a given. I already given.
Yes, yes. But then A is equal to 2 or n is equal to 1 is correct. Because see, sir, we have counter example. We can take A is equal to 6 and n is equal to 1. Then 6 minus 1 is prime, but 6 is not equal to 2.
No, that's what I wrote. N greater than one. I given here.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, okay.
So is a prime number and a greater than one, n greater than one. Then I am saying a equal to 2. So this is the question. Is it okay now?
And yes, sir, yes.
Yeah. See, this is what we need to show. Yeah. So how many of you able to prove it? Okay, that is the question. Yeah, Manan, go ahead.
I have the proof for this. So
Okay. A power n minus 1 is a prime given. Yeah. Then how do you prove that a has to be 2? Yeah. Go ahead.
sir, first of all,
Hmm.
we know that a raised to n minus 1,
Hmm.
if means it will have two factors,
Hmm.
that will be one of them will be 1 and other will be the number itself.
Right. Very good.
So, sir, if we first try to factorize a raised to n minus 1,
Hmm. Yeah.
and for that, first we can try with n equal to 2.
Uh, uh.
So, like it
Okay.
will be
Yeah.
a
Okay. What
minus
is
1.
that you are saying is that uh, we need to prove for every n greater than 1. So let us try for 2, he told. So a square minus 1 is equal to a minus 1 into a plus 1, right? And this is a prime number. This is prime number. Okay. Then one of them has to be 1. But a is greater than 1. So a plus 1 cannot be 1. So a minus 1 is has to be 1. So a equal to 2. That's what your proof.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now how do you prove for a cube minus 1 ke liye?
Sir, we will factorize, so it will be a minus 1
Hmm.
and it will be a square plus a
Hmm.
plus
1.
1.
Now again a greater than 1. So this is not 1. This is not equal to 1. Right? And so this has to be equal to 1. So again a equal to 2. Right? Now how do you prove in general now? So I have to prove for every n. But we gave proof for n equal to 2 and n equal to 3. So in general, how do you write? A power n minus 1 is equal to
A minus 1
into
a raised to n minus 1
hmm,
plus a raised to n minus 2
yeah, plus a raised to n minus 2 plus and so on
till
plus a plus
a raised to 0.
yeah. So right. So it is easy to see that I will multiply and check that product equal to this. So that is easy to prove. Right. So now again the same logic. So this cannot be 1. So this has to be 1. So n equal to a equal to 2 hona check. Right. So how many of you understood the proof? I'll erase first. Yeah. So please tick. How many of you are clear with the proof? Manan proof. So what he's telling is that a power n minus 1 is equal to a minus 1 into something that when a greater than 1, that is always greater than 1. So, so a minus 1 has to be 1. That's enough. That's in the matter. Okay, great. Great. So is Kanishk, is it clear?
Sir, I joined just now, so I did
Okay,
not.
what the question is this? A power n minus 1 is a prime number.
Yes, sir.
A greater than 1 and greater than 1 also given. So this is the mistake I done. That's why I'm just again right. In my
Okay.
quiz, I not written these conditions. These are important. I forgot. So I'm correcting my mistake. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Now a power n minus 1 is a prime number. A greater than 1, n greater than 1. Then a has to be 2 only. So Manan given the proof. How we gave? A power n minus 1 is equal to, he given that a power n minus 1 is equal to a minus 1 into this. Okay.
Okay.
Since a
Yes, sir.
greater than 1, since a greater than 1, this is greater than 1. This part. Okay. Now it is a prime number. So one of them has to be 1 in this product. So a
Okay.
minus 1 has to be 1. So a equal to 2. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yes,
that
sir.
is the proof I give. Now next thing is that 2 power n minus 1. Already I know that 2a has to be 2. Now, if 2 power n minus 1 is a prime number, then n has to be composite only. It cannot be a prime. Oh, I made a mistake. N has to be prime. Yeah. Not composite. In the composite, it is going to be composite. That is what I want to claim. Right? Yeah. So here, then n is a prime number. Okay. So if 2 power n minus 1 is a prime number, okay, 2 power n minus 1 is a prime number, then I have to prove that something is problem.
Sir, sir, even then, if we say that n is prime, if we take 5 or 7, we still get a composite number.
How you got? No. See, this is a compulsory condition, necessary condition. I'm not saying sufficient condition. Try to understand that.
Okay.
See, if it is a composite, n is composite, then automatically it is. So somehow it is not. Yeah, try to understand what I want to say, that if it is n is composite, then automatically it is composite. 1 minute, some problem is coming.
Yes, sir, I understand that. But even if it is prime, in some cases it doesn't. 2 raised to n minus 1 is not prime.
Yes, that is understood. See, prime does not imply it is prime.
Okay.
But composite, then automatically it is composite. So it is prime means n has to be prime only. But I am not saying the converse part. If n is prime, 2 power n minus 1 is prime, I am not saying.
Okay.
So I am telling only one direction. If 2 power n minus 1 is a prime, n has to be prime. But I am not saying n is a prime, then 2 power n minus 1 prime. No.
Okay.
So if P, then Q. So this n is a prime is a necessary condition, but not sufficient. So those who are not clear about that, what do you mean by yeah, so I think you will understand. I will change it later. So some problem is coming here. Yeah. So but anyhow, I will write this way. Yeah. So this is n is a prime number. Yeah. So how do you prove that n has to be prime? This is the best place to understand necessary and sufficient. What is the difference? 2 power n minus 1 is a prime, n is a prime. That is a necessary condition, but not sufficient. That one already is Sankriti give an example. What is the example you give? N equal to how much you give?
So n equal to 5 or n equal to 7?
N equal to 5 is not a problem. N equal to 5, 2 power 5 is 32. 32 minus 1 is a prime number. So not there, it is not a problem.
Okay, understood.
But it is really correct. You are correct. But what is the place? What about n equal to 6?
Okay, n equal to 6.
What is that 10? What is 2 power 6?
2 power 6 is 64 minus 1, 63, which is not prime. Sorry,
it
which
is
is
not a prime. Yeah,
it's not prime.
It is not a prime, right? Yeah. But so sorry, but n is a prime I need, right?
Yeah.
N is a prime I need. So this is not the case.
If we take now, let me check, sir. I'll let you know.
Yeah. Okay. So right.
Sir, I'm not sure, but maybe 2 raised to 7 becomes 128 minus 1, 127.
Is it a prime number or not? That we need to see, right?
Okay.
If it is, then again I had to take 2 power 11. So yeah, check it. Somewhere it may fail. I am not claiming that part. Yeah. But how do you prove that n has to be prime? So again, prove by contradiction. Suppose 2 power n minus 1 is a prime and n is composite, then what happened? That we need to see. So 2 power n minus 1 is a prime number. Okay, and n is composite. So we have to get a contradiction. Okay. So
I think I made a mistake somewhere. I thought it is 2 raised to n minus 1. It's not 2 raised to n minus 1.
Okay. Fine.
I think I made a mistake there.
But even then, your statement is very good. It is useful.
Okay.
Your statement is very full to understand that what is the difference between what is the main statement, what is the converse. That is good. So that is better I had to discuss. So you brought it. That is a good thing. So what is that I want to say? 2 power n minus 1 is a prime, n has to be prime, but converse is not true. That is useful. Your mistake also useful. So mistakes are better. Okay. Yeah. So Mehak,
Yes, sir.
you want to prove that n is a prime for sure?
Yes, sir.
So how do you prove it?
I tried, sir.
How do you prove that if what happens if n is composite?
Then it will be, then there exists some x or y which belongs to z,
Uh,
an integer, such that my n is equals to x into y.
very good. Very good.
So now my 2 raised to, it will be xy minus 1.
Very good. 2 power x into y minus 1. Great. Okay.
Then I will be write it as 2 x y bracket x means
2 power x power y.
yes, minus 1.
Right. Very good. Very good.
Now I will remove 2 raised to y minus 1 in one bracket.
Okay. Here I will help you. Till now you brought very nicely. So if n is composite, n is equal to xy, n is equal to xy for some x and y, and both are greater than 1 and less than n. Okay. Now it is like this. Now see, so now actually we can use the first part, we can prove this. Okay. So now what is the claim that if x is not 1, then what happens? If it is like this, so already 2 power x is how much? It is not, so see, n equal to xy, n is composite, n equal to xy, then what we can say about x, Mehak?
X will be not equals to 1.
But x is, you tell me the clearly, so composite number, n is a composite number, n is equal to xy. You can also tell about xy. Can you tell me about x? N is a composite number. Give explicit description for x. This is the thing I am asking several times. If
Okay,
n is
so
a composite, yes.
So there exists some x and y.
No, that is okay. What is that x? Now there is x and y, so that n equal to xy. So sab kuch ho gaya. How we can tell more about x?
So x and y will belongs to natural number.
No, see, 7 is a prime number.
Yes, sir.
7 also can be written as 1 into 7.
Yes, sir.
So 7 is also xy. So, but there is extra thing when it is a composite number. We can say something more about x and y. Not only you write x and y, you can say more about x and y. So that is the beauty of this composite number. Yeah.
Okay, sir. So my x is between 1 and n.
See, I know that. That's why I'm waiting so much time for you. I know that you will tell. Yeah, so this x is lies in between 1 and n. Great. Now x is greater than 1 ho gaya. Right?
Yes.
X is greater than 1. Then what you can say about 2 power x? It is greater than 2. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
If it is greater than 2, then 2 power y minus 1 is not a prime number. Why? In the first result, I proved it. The first result, I proved that it is a prime, then a has to be 2. Now my a is this guy. 2 power x is entire thing is a. So this is 2 only when x equal to 1. But now n is a composite, that's a problem. Right? This is one way to prove by using the first one. Independently also we can prove. So that can be proved by this way. So you have some a power m into n minus 1. Yeah, you are actually, that is what you are doing. It is equal to a power n minus 1. Now Manan told something. So now I take this is x. Okay. This is x power n minus 1. This entire thing bracket wala I am taking x. So Manan told that it is x minus 1 into something. So now I take x value again, I put a power m minus 1 into something. So with that we can prove that it is again it is not a prime number. Okay. So that is the proof. I am not going into detail, so you can easily figure out this. Okay. Great. But I already give one proof that by using the first part also. So this is easy now. Okay. Right. So I hope everyone is clear with this. So I'll now going forward. Okay. So I corrected my mistake. Yeah. So now any questions? Sankriti? Yes.
Sir, yes, I have an exception for the 2 raised to n minus 1 prime. If you take n as 11, you get the answer as 2047, which is not a prime.
Okay, 2 power 11 minus 1.
Yes, which is 2047.
2047, and it is not a prime number.
It's not a prime.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it is because 4 plus 7 is 11, 11 plus 2 is 13. That is not for that way. Okay, you can have a factorization. Okay, good. Okay, so fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Now please concentrate now. So it says that every number greater than 1 can be written as product of primes, finite product of finite number of primes, unique up to order. But many people do not write finite. Okay, so why they will not write? Let us see first. Okay, because it is n is a natural number. Okay, so it cannot be written as product of infinite number of primes. Why? So as you know that so if it has infinite number of primes, product of infinite number of primes, okay, then one of the prime will be greater than n. That gives a contradiction, right? You know that a divides b, a greater than 0, b greater than 0, and you know that a is less than or equal to b. We done this. We use it very frequently. Okay, a divides b, both are positive, then a is less than or equal to b. A cannot be greater than. Divisor cannot be larger than the number. So this we know. So if n is a product of infinite number of primes, so after some stage, some primes are greater than n ho jayega. So that is a problem. So finite is always easy. So that's why many people do not put finite, but safe side I am putting finite also, right? Okay, that part is fine. Now how to prove that it is a written as product of finite number of primes? Okay, for example, if I take 100 is equal to 2 into 2 into 5 into 5. Okay, later I can write it is 2 square into 5 square, but so it is, but it is a product of primes. Okay, here it is not a prime number. That's why I wrote like this with repetition. Okay, so that is the meaning. So every number greater than 1 can be written as a product of primes. How do you prove that? Okay, so I am not asking questions today. Little bit, I am going little bit fast. So let us take n greater than 1. Okay, proof now. Let n is greater than 1. Okay, I want to show that it is written as product of primes. So now two cases. If n is a prime, then what happens? So n is equal to prime. So it is a product of itself. So n is in that case it is done. Proof is done. Now suppose n is composite. N is composite. So we already done, but I am giving independent proof today. We already done once that every number greater than 1 has a prime factor. So I can do that way, but I am going little different even now today. Yeah, so the thing is that I am taking, so n is composite. So composite means you know what you mean by that. So I am now taking d belongs to n such that d divides n and 1 less than d less than n. Okay, now n is composite. Now we are in n is composite. Now somebody tell me, is it empty or non-empty set? No problem. Just to unmute and tell. Anyone is fine.
Sir, it is non-empty.
Why it is non-empty?
So first of all, D is a subset of natural number, and there exists a smallest element, I think.
No. Now, yeah, you are telling ahead. I am not asking that part.
Okay, sir.
Why this is non-empty? Why? Okay, so you need to use this one and you need to tell. So composite number, what is the meaning of composite number? So it has a divisor which is strictly licensed between
1 and n.
That's why it is non-empty. That's much only I am asking. I'm not asking forward. Now what you are saying, now Sn is subset of what?
So it is a subset of natural number.
And also now Sn is non-empty. So then what is that you do now?
So by well ordering principle, we have an element k.
By well ordering principle, it has a least element, right?
Yes, sir. It has a least.
It has a least element. So least element. So let us say I'll call that as say some k. Yeah, as you pointed out. Then what happens now?
So then we again have two choices, either k.
No. That is okay. That's okay. That I'm not going to that. Okay. Now what we can say, this n is equal to, what is this k now? Where this k belongs to? It has a least element. Which
K
has a
said-
least element? Sn has a least
Sn.
element. By well-ordered principle, Sn has a least element. That means what? So k belongs to Sn. That means what? 1 is less than k is less than n, and k divides n. Correct?
So it will be, yes, sir.
So n is equal to what now?
So k raised to something.
K into
K multiply. No,
Ah.
k into some. Yeah.
k into n1. That much you can
N1.
say? Yeah, great. So k into n1. But now I am climbing something. I am climbing something. What is that I am climbing?
K will
I'm-
be prime.
Ah, very good. K is a prime. Very good. Very good. How do you prove k is prime?
Sir, we can say that means Sn.
Hmm.
So k is the least element.
Hmm,
So
hmm.
there won't be anything which will be, means there is
Yeah,
no
yeah,
element.
Manan, you understood. I am able to see that you understand the proof also. But we are not putting in a proper way. So for that, I will help you. I want to show k is prime. Prove by contradiction. Suppose.
Sir, can I tell?
Yeah, so yeah, tell.
Yes, sir. So it is a proof by contradiction. So
Hmm.
we can, if it is not a prime, that it
It
will
is
have
k
a
is a,
divisor.
no, k is a composite.
Yes, sir.
So k is a composite, then what happens?
Sir, then there exists a such that
Hmm.
a divides k, and a is one. A is between 1 and k.
This is I thought you will not tell. Okay, you told this. This is very important. So now what happens if a divides k and a greater than 1, and already k is dividing n, so a divides n.
Yes, sir. Then we.
No. We now tell me, go slowly. Do not tell immediately. Now what is happening if a divides n and a is greater than 1, and so it is less than n also, then what we can say?
So
Just
then
tell
k,
one.
k
Ah.
divide n.
So
No.
well altering principle,
No.
it will not
Do not
satisfy.
go that way. Do not go. So
Okay,
now tell me that a, regarding a, you have to tell something. Then only I can use well-ordered principle.
A is smaller than k.
And that is okay. But before that, you need to say something. So a is a divisor, proper divisor, means a is greater than 1 and a divides n, and it is list between 1 and n. So a belongs to something, you need to tell first.
Sn.
A belongs to Sn and a is less than k. That's give a contradiction.
Yes. Sir.
So this you need to show first. So for that purpose, I need all these things. Okay. Yeah, great. Now it is done. Okay, understood, Manan? See,
Yes,
in
sir.
order to say it is a contradiction, first I had to show contradiction for what? So a is
Yes.
an element in Sn and a is less than k. So first for that we need to show a belong to Sn. So when it is when it become a member of Sn, it has to satisfy some properties. What are the properties? It is a proper
Well,
divisor. Yeah. So that
yes.
we are proved first. Okay. Done. Great. So we done that n is equal to k into n1. So this k is a prime number. Okay. Now I am erasing all these. Okay. So so I'm now erasing this part. So I hope you remember the proof. Okay. So I'm just keeping this much. Okay. So this k is the least, and we proved that this k is prime. Climb. That proof I removed. K is prime. So I can call k is equal to some p1. So now n is equal to p1 into n1. Okay. Now n1 is a prime, then we are done. Now my problem boils down to n1 now. P1 to ho gaya. So now my problem boils down to n1. You remember what is that I want to show? N equal to product of primes. But till now I able to figure it out only p1. Now n1. Now what is that I will do? Now I will apply again Sn1. If n1 is a prime, I am done. If not, I will take Sn1. Now what is Sn1? Again the same way. So all the divisors which are like proper divisors of n1. N1 is a composite. Now with the same principle, now n1 has a prime factor. That is the smallest prime factor. So now my n is equal to p1 into p2 into n2. Okay. Now if n2 is a prime number, I am done. If n2 is not a prime number, then again I can construct Sn2. Okay, so now what is the relation between Sn and Sn1 and Sn2 and so on? That can you somebody tell me that what is the relation between Sn and Sn minus Sn1? Yeah, Sankruti, you have a question.
Yes, sir, I have a question, but I'll also answer this. Sn is Sn consists of Sn1, Sn.
Oh, very good. Okay, great. It contains. It properly contains.
Or you could say that Sn2 is a subset of Sn proper subset actually.
Proper subset. Very good. Great. Very good. Yeah. So every time.
My question actually was, after you've written by well ordering principle, Sn has a least element k, and on the side you've written 1 is less than k, 1 less than n, and k divides n. Right. Before this you had written.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So we just we don't assume it, but it's given, isn't it?
Yeah, it is given. It is the definition of Sn.
Right.
Every element in Sn is of the form. So an element belongs to Sn means it divides and it is.
Understood.
And Sn has a least element, so it is like that. Yes. Great. Thanks. Yeah. So this is great. It is. I am very happy by you are telling that it is a proper subsets. Great. Now, once they are proper subsets, why it? What happens? Yeah. So somebody can say something. So every time I am decreasing. So what happens? Every time at least to decrease by 1, right? So is it terminates? So surely later, if n1 is not a prime, I will get n2, p1, p2 into n2. If n2 is not a prime, I will get again n2 is equal to p1 into p2 into p3 into n3. So later we'll state that at least one case nk has to be prime. Why? Yeah, Manan. Yeah.
No, sir, actually, I'm just thinking right now.
Right.
Sir, we can say that it is a decreasing sequence. That's why it cannot continue indefinitely.
Indefinitely, because we cannot have so number of divisors in Sn. What is a max? What we can say about the cardinality of Sn?
Cardinality of Sn would be
it is a number of proper divisors, right?
Right. Okay.
Can you tell me some bound? No need to tell exact answer. Can you say some number which is it is less than this? I mean, this number is less than that. Yeah.
1?
No.
No, 1 second.
Number of divisors.
It has to be less than n.
Less than n. That much we can say more, but it is less than n is easy to say, right? So, but each time at least it is decreasing by at least 1. So we cannot continue like that. So that's why it will end up. That is the thing, right? Okay, great. So now we need to prove uniqueness. There are other ways also to prove. I will come to that proof also later. So this is one nice proof I gave today. So first we proved that every number is written a product of primes. Now we need to show uniqueness. Okay. So let us work out that. See, I am not involving you. So that's why it may be boring or I don't know, but anyhow. Now I am giving the proof for that. Okay. See, I told you again, entire thing is available in my lecture notes. Okay. So even here it is not available, you can go through. But here why I am not give complete proof like a textbook proof. I already given in my notes. Here why I am not give, it is because so while you go through the proof later, you open the notes will be very less and you proofs are in your mind. So it will be fast to collect. Okay, it is better to not having proof is better. Okay. Now let us assume that P1 into P2 into PR. So another prime factorization Q1 into Q2 into QS. Okay, where P1 is less than or equal to P2 is less than or equal to PR. I am assuming. Also, I am assuming that Q1 is less than or equal to Q2 is less than or equal to QS. I am assuming. So what is that I want to show? These two prime factorizations are same. Okay, that is what I want to show. So for that, first I want to claim that R is equal to S. Okay, later I want to show that actually P1 is equal to Q1, P2 is equal to Q2, right? And PR is equal to QS. So I will try to prove all these things in one step. Okay, one step means one shot, both R equal to S as well as all these things. So how do I prove it? Now it is a lecture method without asking questions. I am proving now. Okay. So okay. So what is that I am doing? So yeah, so these two are equal, right? So I can write P1 into P2 into up to PR is equal to Q1 into Q2 into QS, right? Then what is going to happen? What is going to happen?
So we can say that P1 divides Q1, Q2.
Oh, okay, right. P1 divides P2 into up to PR. So which is equal to Q1 into Q2 into QS. That means?
That means P1 divides Q1, Q2. Q1.
P1 divides Q2 into QR. But P1 is a prime number, which implies what?
Which implies that P1 divides QK.
Because we have one result. P divides AB implies P divides C or P divides B. So there exists K belongs to 1 to, sorry, I made a mistake here. It is QS. Yeah, sorry, QS. Yes, okay. So there exists Q, some K. Yes, you are rightly pointed out that 1 belongs to S. That says P1 divides QS directly. What next actually now? Right? What next? So now P1 is a prime number. QS is also prime number. Then what happens? Yeah, anyone can tell, no problem. P1 is a prime number and QS is a prime number and P1 dividing QS. Then?
So P1 equal to QS.
P1 is equal to QS, right?
Yes.
Now from this, what is that you can conclude between P1 and Q1?
So P1 equal to Q1.
Sorry, I made a mistake again.
So it will be QK, I think.
Thanks. Actually, I made another mistake. Right. So now this is QK, right? Right. So you know something about Q1 and QK. See, I wrote Q1 less than or equal to Q2 less than or equal to QS.
QK is greater than Q1.
Greater than or equal to?
Greater than equal to Q1.
But no, so that's okay. That's okay. Very good. Now, can you say now something related to P1 and Q1 now? P1 equal to QK. I'm now asking P1 and Q1. I proved that P1 equal to QK.
Then say P1 equal to Q1.
No.
P1 is less than equal to Q1.
Little careful. P1 equal to Q1. So you are not seeing P1. Your eyes is seeing instead of P1, here you are seeing QK. Here you are not seeing P1. Okay, it is QK. P1 equal to QK. So QK is one among them. I don't know which one exactly. Q1 is the first one.
P1 has to be greater than equal to Q1.
P1 is greater than or equal to Q1. This much is clear, right? So this is what I proved. By assuming that the P1 divides this, I proved this. But similarly, can I prove Q1 less than or equal to P1 in the similar fashion? Yes. So then P1 and Q1 gets cancelled, right? So next step, P2, Q2 gets cancelled. So if something R is less than S, then 1 equal to product of some primes. That is a contradiction. So R equal to S and all of them are equal. Done. Proof. I'm not going further. See, so if you teach like, generally people teach like this, right? But even then I will ask one question, that how many of you followed? Can you raise your hand if you followed? Is it maybe a little faster? Yeah, Kanak, what is your Kanak? You understood? Okay, fine. Somebody raised hand. Okay. Kanishk, what is your problem?
So you said raised hand if you understood. So
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry, by mistake. Yeah. So tick only. Yeah. You understand the proof. Okay, great. So, great. Okay. So, yeah. So please go through again. Okay. I told you again that it is available in lecture notes, but I will repeat once so that it will consolidate. I want to show that every number greater than 1 has a prime factorization that is unique up to order. Okay. So I take n greater than 1. N is prime, I'm done. If n is composite, I constructed a set. So proper divisors. So it is non-empty because n is composite. So now by Valadi principle, it has a least element, say k. Now I proved k is prime. So n is equal to p1 into n1. Okay, p1 is the prime. Also that p1 is the smallest prime. Okay. Now if n1 is prime, I am done. If not, I can take Sn1. So as Sankriti told, wonderful thing that Sn is properly contains Sn1 and so on. So we cannot go finite number, we cannot go infinitely like that. We have to stop after some stage. So n is equal to product of primes. Next, we are proving uniqueness. So if you take two different ways, then P1 into P2 into PR is equal to Q1 into Q2 into QS. P1 divides Q1 into QS. But P1 is a prime number. P1 divides AV, then P1 divides ARB. So P1 divides some QK. But that means P1 equal to QK because P1 is a prime number, QK is a prime number. One divides other, they have to be equal. Now P1 equal to QK. I know that QK is greater than or equal to Q1. Why equal to QK when we Q1 also? That's why equal to. So I proved that P1 is greater than or equal to Q1. So in the first step, I proved that P1 greater than or equal to Q1. By taking similarly, Q1 divides P1, P2, Pk, I can prove that Q1 is greater than or equal to P1. So Q1. So I can show that P1 equal to Q1. So P1 gets cancelled. Similarly, I can show P2 equal to Q2, P3 equal to Q3 and so on. If R is not equal to S, one side I will get one, other side I will get a product of prime. That is a contradiction. So all of them are equal. Okay. Yeah. So now onwards, what is that we have? Sorry, again, I told you that I am not writing the proof in a very, very textbook proof. Okay. I can write it, but better not to write. Now, what is that we have? Now we have that if n is greater than 1, okay, so there exist P1, P2, some Pk belongs to, there exist P1, P2, Pk belongs to set of primes and K1, K2 and so on. Sorry, we better say A1. Okay. So there exist A1, A2 and so on. AK belongs to natural numbers such that n is equal to, so P1 power A1, P2 power A2 and so on, Pk power AK. Okay, so this is the, so those repeated I combined now. Okay, every natural number can be written like this. You know from childhood, but just today we consolidated. So this is called fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Okay, so today we proved it actually. Okay, childhood by 6th class, 7th class, we are using it. Okay, without proof and all we wrote it. Now today we proved it. Okay, and other thing is that, so look at the similarity here. You know, V is a vector space over F. Okay, mathematics, different subjects looks like different, but all are same. Okay, let us say V is a finite dimensional vector space over F. That means there is a basis. Okay, the basis contains some vectors V1, V2 and so on, Vk. Okay, then so can somebody tell me V is equal to in terms of B? Something V is equal to something I have to write. V can be infinite. Yeah, Kanishk. Any one of you? Okay, I'll erase now. Tell me again. So you know V is a vector space, B is a basis. Then V is equal to in terms of B. Do you know something? Yeah, Kanak, go ahead.
Span of B.
Uh,
It's a span of B, sir.
Span of B, linear span of B. Okay, okay. What? Okay, I'm asking you one question again, Connect. V belongs to linear span of B. What do you mean by that?
There exists A1 through An such that V is equal to A1 V1 plus A2 V2 up to An.
So, but before that, you will write something. So there exists a natural number n and scalars A1, A2, and so on, AK belongs to F, the field F, such that this V is equal to A1 V1 plus A2 V2 plus and so on plus AK VK, right? So here these are fixed. So it is like primes, but there are finite number of primes like, okay, infinite, then okay. So it is useful when it is infinite dimensional vector space. So that is a basis. Then so there exists a basis elements also I will take. Okay, if it is infinite dimensional, then this is not finite. So there are many vectors. So I had, in that case, I had to write there exists an n, there exists a k, k here. There exists a k and there exists v1, v2, vk belongs to B, and like this. Okay, just I'm bringing some analogy. Different areas of mathematics, everywhere the same thing will be there. Okay, that we have to see. Okay, I hope at least some of you appreciated what I'm saying. Yeah, but anyhow, is it okay now? Achala, are you clear with what I'm talking?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So this is the thing. Now, fine. Now I have two numbers. Okay, n is equal to p1 power a1 up to pk power ak. So my m is also equal to p1 power a1 and up to pk power a, p1 power b1 and bk. You may ask some question, why you took the same primes? Okay, for example, I take 30 and I will take, let us say, 21. Okay, so can somebody tell me what is the prime factorization of 30? Rutuja? Rutuja, can you tell me the prime factorization of 30? Yeah, I know many of you lost now. Rutuja. Okay, Sonali? Sonali ji? Okay. Suresh?
235.
Suresh, can you tell me what is the
2,
prime factorization of 30?
235.
2 into 3 into 5. Great. 21?
3 into 7.
3 into 7. So now I want to bring 2 power into 3 power something, 3 power something, 5 power something into 7 power something here. Here also I want to bring like that. Is it possible? Yeah, Suresh. What is the values now?
2 raised to 1, 3 raised to 1, 5 raised to 1, and 7 raised to 0.
7 raised power?
0.
0. Very good. Now here, how can I write?
2 raised to 0, 3 raised to 1, 5 raised to 1, 7 raised to
5 raised power 0 and 7 raised power 1, right? Yes. So it is possible. What is that? I want to say that if you take two numbers, it is possible to take same set of primes, but here some of them can be 0. Okay. Yeah, fine. Great. Okay, fine. So I have this scenario now with me. So can I find GCD now? What is the GCD of n comma n? What is the GCD of n comma m? So you know GCD will write like this, right? Now can you somebody help me? This is what we done in childhood. So I do not told GCD this way, right? Because this way is difficult. So but in childhood we evaluated GCD by this approach. Why we are doing this approach now this way? Because fundamental theorem of telling that every number can be written as a product of primes, it is existence only. But if I generally I give a prime number, it is very difficult. That is open problem. It is very, very difficult to give a natural. If I give a natural number, you do not know how to write it. But we know it can be written. But you do not know how. What are all those primes? Okay. Yeah. Fine. Now, can somebody help me that what is the GCD of n comma m now? I will erase, and those who are okay, then they can tick. What is the GCD of n comma m? N equal to p1 power a1, p2 power ak, pk power ak. M equal to P1 power B1 like that Pk power Bk. What is GCD of n comma M? Yes, fast. No. No one knows. Oh, no one knows. Okay. Again, go for that example. 30, it is 2 power 1 into 3 power 1 into 5 power 1 into 7 power 0.
Sir, I think I can tell.
Yeah, tell.
Sir, it will be the minimum of
Right.
both powers, I think.
Yeah, yes. This is P1 power minimum of A1
sir,
comma B1, right? Yeah,
B1.
but instead of writing like this, now it is difficult to write everything. So what I will write? I will write product Pi power minimum of AI comma Bi. Okay, so I'll write set. Okay, so for every I. So I, if you want, I is equal to 1 to k. Okay, this is the answer. Correct. What is LCM? Now somebody else can tell what is LCM. No one. See, now it is very easy, right? When you have a prime factorization, finding LCM GCD becomes easy. GCD is equal to simply this part. Okay, so somebody help me. What is the what is LCM? No one.
Sir, LCM will be means it will be the greatest of all the primes.
Not greatest of all the primes, all the exponents.
Yes, all the exponents.
That means that here instead of minimum, we have to take maximum. Done. Now from that easy to see that earlier we done one proof. Product of LCM into GCD. Product of LCM into GCD is equal to product of the numbers. Is it easy to see? N comma M GCD we have minimum. In LCM we have maximum. Okay, then what is that I'll get? See, remember that minimum is one among them. Maximum is one among them. So then, so if I do product, then what happens, right? So easy to prove that actually this is equal to the sum. Okay,
Yes.
Product also you know. So now this proof becomes easy. Earlier we proved in a little complicated way. But so once you know the prime factorization, finding LCM, product and GCD, all these things becomes easy. Okay, so that is done. Okay, great. Now I am asking another last question, that D divides N. How D look like? So let us say N is equal to P1 power A1, P2 power A2, Pk power AK. Now D divides N. Now how D look like? Yes, any one of you? So no one is telling, so I will ask one of them. Shivani ji, can you tell? Can you help us?
Yes, sir. So D will be P1 raised to the power K. Matlab product means you can
Product
write
is
it
okay.
in
I'll write
product
first,
form.
but no, I'll write everything. Yeah, just tell me. P1 power.
Okay. K1, P2 power K2.
I'll write C1 because K already using here.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
P2 power C2.
Till Pk power Ck.
Very good.
Where Ck divides AI.
No, not divides.
No, where Ci.
Yeah. Take time. Yeah, take time. Take time and tell.
Where Ci is less than equals to AI.
Much more. Okay, that is okay. You are telling upper bound. Lower bound also you need to tell.
Okay, and Ci is greater than equals to 0.
C is greater than or equal to 0 also. Okay. Why? For example, if I take my n is equal to 30, right?
Yes.
So then, so is 3 also divides 30, right?
Yes.
So in that case, how do you write 3? So 3 is equal to 2 power 0, 3 power 1,
3 power 1,
and 5 power
5 power
0,
0.
right? So every divisor now is look like, so 6 also divides, but 6 is how it look like, 2 power 1, 3 power 1,
3 power
5
1,
power
5
0.
power 0.
30 also divides 30, so it is equal to 2 power 1, 3 power 1, 5 power 1. 1 also divides
Yes.
30, so 1 is equal to 2 power 0, 3 power 0, 5 power 0, right? So d divides 30 implies how d look like, so it is 2 power something, 3 power something into 5 power something.
5 power
If
0.
something is now either 0 or 1, okay, because the here it is power 1 1 1. In general, it is, as you correctly pointed out, it is between 0 and that number. Okay, so I will ask one more question, Shivani, to you. So no need to answer now, just question only I am asking. You just, it is for everyone, but you think about. But my question is that how many divisors are there? Okay, question is that, so I give a natural number n,
yes,
which is equal to p1 power a1, p2 power a2, and so on, pk power ak. Then how many possible divisors, positive divisors will be there, including 1 and n also? Is the question clear?
Yes, sir. Question is clear to me.
That much only.
So
That much
means
only. Do not tell. Do not tell. I also told that I am asking question. You think about. See, I need to tell to entire class, but I generally tell to one person so that other people also listen. Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
so the question is clear
Okay,
now.
sir.
Is clear to you,
Yes.
Shivani? Yeah.
Yes, it is clear.
So I need to find all the divisors. How many divisors are there? Yeah. So, but let us check how many are able to answer this. It is little tougher. No need to tell now. How many of you able to answer that? So let us take some example. How many divisors 6 has? Tell, it is easy. Any one of you can tell. How many divisors 6 has?
4.
4, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So how do you get it? Okay. So you have to factorize, but so this number you already know it is equal to 2 into 3, and you know 1, 2, 3, 6, and all you done. But now I do not know. I gave general n now. N equal to p1 power a1, p2 power ak, pk power ak. So, but now in that case, how do you find how many divisors are there? Right? That is the question. So keep that in your mind. So you can try this later. This is a nice question, right? How many divisors 100 has? That will help you. How many divisors 100 has? Okay. So instead of giving answer, just I'll do one example so that it will be completely clear to you. So it is 2 power 0, 5 power 1, right? 2 power 0, 5 power 0 first. So 2 power 1, 5 power 0. Next. So 2 power 2.
Combination.
So okay, anyhow, whatever. I'm not asking. So 2 power 2, 5 power. I'm not answer. Do not answer now. So I already asked you. You do not told. So I'm just working out some example. Now you have to work out for this case. General case. Okay, I'm working out for a particular case. So 2 power 0, 5 power 0, 1. This is a divisor. 2 power 1, 5 power 0, 2. Divisor. 2 square into 5 power 0. Divisor. Okay. Now this 2 power 0. So 2 power 0, 5 power 1. So 2 power 0. 2 power 1, 5 power 1. So 2 power 1, 5 power 1, divisor. So 2 power 1, 5 power 2, divisor. 1, 1, sorry. So I need to write little different here. Yeah, 2 power 2 into 5 power 1 is a divisor. These are all distinct. Now, what are the numbers still left? At least one number, somebody can tell me.
2 to the power 0, 5 raised to power 2.
5 raised power 2, 2 power 1 into 5 power
1,
2,
5 raised
2
to
power
yes,
1 into 5 power 3.
2.
Say 2. So here also 2.
Yeah,
Here also 2. Yeah. Now, how many are there total?
9.
9 are there. Okay. So without factoring, how do you get it? So what is the answer in general? So what is the answer number of factors for this? Okay. So do not tell the answer, please. Okay. Do not tell the answer. Keep with you. Keep with you. Okay. If you have really done it, then I will ask another tough question. Okay. Try that. So this is an exercise. Another exercise I'm giving you. Yeah. Another exercise I'm giving you. Nice, beautiful question I'm giving you. So 2 cube into 5 power 4 into 7 power 11. Okay. I gave some number like this. Okay. I want to find all ordered pairs such that, so find all ordered pairs belong to n cross n such that LCM of A comma B is equal to n. Okay. I'm defining the set as a, so say Ln. So Ln is defined as all ordered pairs such that LCM of AB equal to n. Okay. Now, what is my question? Find the cardinality of Ln. Is the question clear? Can you tell me at least one pair in Ln? Achila, can you give me one pair in Ln? Their LCM is n. Least common multiple is n.
N comma 1.
Very good. Very good. N comma 1. Okay. N comma 1 belongs to n comma 1 LCM is n only. Very good. It's great. So then 1 comma n also will come. These are I am considering as distinct. Okay. Ordered pairs. A, B, B are not same. So can you give me one more? For
N
this
comma n.
n comma n, great. N comma n. Now we cannot go further with this business. Now let us go to the number. Now, can you give me one more pair? A value, B value, their LCM is equal to n. Yeah, but first of all, very thanks. This is great. So these 3 numbers are there. Yes, great. Their LCM is n. Great. Now, can you give me one more? So, okay, what is that actually? What is that we are asking? LCM of AB equal to n means what do you know about A first and n? Achila. LCM of AB equal to n, then what do you know about A and n? No? Okay. Kaustubh? I'm saying LCM of AB equal to n. What is LCM of 4 comma 9? LCM?
36. So A divides n.
A divides n. Yes, right. A divides n. Okay. So already we know that. See, this A divides n as well as B divides n. So these are only divisors now. So I cannot. So A and B are divisors. So this is a finite set. It is a finite set. A has A is any one of the divisor, but all the divisors also will not going to play a role. Once A is given, I can discuss B. So it is a finite set. So then I can talk about their cardinality. Now, can you give me one A and one B? Thus that their LCM equal to n. Any one of you now. Any one of you, any student. Kathy also.
Sir, A is equals to 2 cube.
2 cube.
And B is equals to 5 raised to the power 4 into 7 raised to the power 11.
Yeah, simple, very great. Okay. So here actually, so this is 5 power 0 into 7 power 0 now. Okay. That is the meaning of this, right? Yeah, so here actually 2 is not there, but it is 2 power 0. Now look at the exponents, it will tell you something. Yeah, so this is great. So now AB LCM equal to N1. Okay, now I am asking that we have to find out all the pairs whose LCM is N and what is its cardinality, right? Combinatorial problem. Okay, try this. So these 2 questions I gave to you as an exercise. Generally, you know, I am generally not give exercises, right? Because I'm already asking quizzes. So, but I'll put these 2 questions there as well. Okay, not as a yes or no, multiple choice. So if you get the answer, you can write there. Okay, I explained the question. I'll put in the quiz this one. You try. Okay, great. So now. Now we'll try to prove there are infinite number of primes of the form 4k plus 3. So can somebody give me some primes of the form 4k plus 3? Give me 4 primes of the form 4k plus 3. Okay, I do one thing. You think about, so I'll give 4 minutes time, 4 minutes break. It is not because I need break, but we are discussing intensely, so it may be you need break. Okay, so take some break and come back. So I'll start at 9:45. Okay, I'll start at 9:45 a.m. Okay, so come at 9:45, take some break. So those who have doubts and want to ask me, I will be here only. You can ask me. So Kathy, you understand the proof of fundamental theorem of arithmetic?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, this is the only thing I think we proved. And you understand this one, a power n minus 1 is prime, then a equal to 2.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And 2 power n minus 1 is a prime, then n has to be prime.
Yes, sir. This also.
Okay. So actually proofs are important.
Yes, sir. So Kathy, actually in my here I actually opened participants list, right? Yes, sir.
Participants, if you click it, then you will get a this one, right? I can see who ticked, not ticked, know that, right?
Yes, sir.
And also there is a window that video, right?
Yes, sir. Video is also.
Are you now you are seeing only board, or you are seeing those two also? I can see here in my In my desktop, they are there. You cannot see them, right?
Yes, sir. I can see only board.
You can see only board. Pura board.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, for example, let me say something. So, for example, here I am writing something now, right?
Yes, sir.
Now I'm bring that my video on the top of it. Now also you can see that.
Yes, sir. I can see.
Okay, fine. Okay, great. So we'll now start. Any questions till now? Hello.
Sir, in this question of yours, there are infinite numbers of the form 4k plus 3. There is there a proof of this, like any counter example or example in the notes that you gave in the beginning of the course?
Counter example for okay. Counter example for there may not exist infinite number of primes. Sorry, I'm not clear about that.
No, sir, I'm asking, is there the proof of the whole statement? Is it given in the notes, or are we supposed to?
Which, okay, and see, no, for everything proofs are given. Okay. No, now I'm proving it now. Here I'm proving it now. Oh, sorry, can you repeat the question? Sankriti, can you repeat the question?
Sir, I was just asking whether there is there's a written proof of this in the notes you gave at the beginning of the course?
Yes. Everything, entire, whatever I'm going to told today or tomorrow or even entire course, all the proofs are there.
Okay, thank you.
Everything is available there. Okay. So you can go to that Google Classroom. Okay, there is entire notes, full notes. Like I also wrote full notes. So all these things, for example, fundamental theorem of arithmetic proof, SN and all, very neatly line by line written. Okay, you will not going to miss even this proof that a power n minus 1 is prime then a equal to 2. This proof also written. Okay, so even then I am again proving each and everything here. Okay. These notes also I'm giving, but you no need to worry about that. Now, for example, this proof I'll do, but this proof also there. Okay. Okay. So that's why you no need to take the notes now. You just concentrate, focus. Yeah. So now we'll try to prove this. Can you give some primes of the form 4k plus 3, Sankriti?
Sir, actually, while you are explaining the proof, my internet also got.
Okay, no problem.
What I was thinking is I will write it down and I will message you if I find it out.
No, I am not asking the proof. I am asking some primes of the form 4k plus 3. Anyhow, don't worry.
So, I 11 and 27 maybe.
Yeah, okay, right.
Sir, statement is incorrect. There are infinite prime numbers of the form.
So statement is correct only. There is not a problem. This is also correct. There are infinite numbers of the form 4k plus. That is correct, right?
Yes, that is correct, right? That is true.
Not a problem. Yeah. So, but what is that I want to say, that is not conveyed here. There are. Yeah, that I understood. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. So once there are infinite number of primes of the form 4k plus 3, automatically there are infinite number of members of the form 4k plus 3. Anyhow, okay. So now try to prove this. So suppose, I'll ask one more person. Mehak, can you tell me some primes of the form 4k plus 3 from the starting?
So 7.
Oh, why you go to 7? No other prime before 7 of the form 4k plus 3? 3, yes.
3.
7,
90, 11, 19,
11, 19.
23.
Very good. So, okay, bus. Okay, there are so many primes like this. So, see, one person called Lehmer, he asked some question, which primes are more, 4k plus 3 or 4k plus 1, like that. Okay, so there is a lot of work done in that before actually concluding that. So how to prove which numbers, which primes are more, which are, so we cannot say. Up to some extent you take these are more, those are less, like that happening. So, but as asymptotically proof is given, there almost both are equal like that. So there we need to bring some probability something to answer questions of that nature. But I'm not going to those details, some sort of density and all, but I'm not going to that. Okay, today we are proving that there are infinite number of primes of the form 4k plus 3. But then obviously basic question is that number of primes of the form 4k plus 1 also. These are also infinite, but that proof is not that easy. So we're going to prove, today is the 9th class, right? 9th session. We are going to prove that in the around 21st session class or something. See, so even though they are of the same some easy statements, but proof we need many things to prove that particular thing. Okay, but 4k plus 3 is easy. We can prove today itself. Okay, let us try. Okay, suppose again, how do you go? What is the first step generally? Anyone?
Sir, we will suppose that there are finite numbers.
Suppose there are finite number of primes. There are finite number of primes of the form 4k plus 3. Okay, so let us state them as q1, q2 and so on, qk. So some qn. Okay, so qn. Okay, so these are the primes. So now I will construct a number. So you know that in earlier case we proved product of all of them plus 1. That will not work now. I will take like this. Okay, do not ask me that how you got this. This is one simple magic here. Not magic also, we can figure out that why we are doing like this. Because I need n also of the form 4k plus 3. That's why I'm taking this, nothing. Okay, this is actually, you can write it is q1 into qn minus 1. Right, I took this as my number, some number. Okay, so can you somebody tell me that it is equal to this minus 1 something here?
Plus 3.
Plus 3, correct. So why I wrote like this, these two equal I put here is that actually this n is of the form 4k plus 3. Okay, that much only. Great. Now, so from this it is easy to see that n is greater than 1. Okay, now we know that every number greater than 1 has a prime factor. Okay, so in fact it has a prime factorization also, right? So let us assume that it has a prime. So now n can be written as n has a prime factorization, right? Okay, so that n can be written now. In fact, it has a fundamental theorem of arithmetic. You can write is equal to p1 into p2 into some pm. So now claim is that at least one of these prime is of the form 4k plus 3. How? Go slowly, don't worry about now. Now it is a local question. N is of the form 4k plus 3. Now I am claiming that, and n is a number, and it is written as product of primes. Now I am claiming that at least one of these is of the form 4k plus 3. Okay, when n is of the form 4k plus 3, then one of its prime factor is also of the form 4k plus 3. That is the question. So how to prove that? Do not worry about the original question. Now local question. N is of the form 4k plus 3. Then at least one of its prime factor is also of the form 4k plus 3. How do you prove it? Is it okay, Kanak? Is question clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. suppose that none of them are of the form 4k plus 3, then which form they are?
Four k plus 1.
4k plus 1, right? See, try to understand that none of them are 2. Why P1 is not 2, P2 is not 2, PM is not 2?
Because they are of the form 4k plus 1 or
No,
4k.
not like that. Not because so I'm saying P1 is odd, P2 is odd, PM is odd. Why? None of them is 2.
Sir, because n is an odd number. Right?
Yeah, so n is an odd number because 4 into something plus 3, it is an odd number. So you cannot, so 2 is ruled out. Once 2 is ruled out, odd primes. Odd prime, every odd prime is of the form 4k plus 1 or 4k plus 3. Every odd prime is of the form 4k plus 1 or 4k plus 3. Now I am claiming that at least one of these prime is 4k plus 3. So how do you go about? Suppose that it is not true. Then all the primes are of the form 4k plus 1 only. Okay, let us take two primes. So two numbers of the form. I prove more general result. So I have two numbers of the form 4k1 plus 1 and another number is of the form 4k2 plus 1. What is the product? How it is? Which form it is? Product of these two. Multiply and check it. Which form it is? This question also I asked in the exercise. See, today I am asking, but these I am asked in the exercise. You ticked S also. Okay, so yeah, tell me which form it is. Any one of you?
So it is also of the form 4k
Plus 1 only.
4 into something plus
Yeah,
1.
plus 1 only, because if you multiply and check, so if I take two numbers of the form 4k plus 1, their product is also of the form 4k plus 1. Okay, so but don't worry about that, much is sufficient. Do not talk about 4k plus 3 hoga nahi hoga. Do not talk about. Only thing is that if the numbers of the form 4k plus 1, their product is also of that form. So if all of them are of the form 4k plus 1, then the product is also of the form 4k plus 1. But n is of the form 4k plus 3. So because of that, so at least one of the number here is of the form 4k plus 3. Okay, so let us say pk is of the form 4k plus 3 and the pk divides n, right? Now so then what happens? So pk is of the form 4k plus 3. Okay, now we'll start the beginning. We assume that these are the only primes of the form 4k plus 3. You remember? These are the only primes of the form 4k plus 3. Now pk is a prime of the form 4k plus 3. Then what we can say? No one is going to say. These are the only primes
of the form pk is one of these two i's.
Yeah, okay. Let other, okay. See, q1, q2, qn, these are the only primes of the form 4k plus 3. Now pk is of the form 4k plus 3. Okay, then as Kathy told, for pk is one of these primes. Pk is one of these primes. Now go to this. Now somebody now help me the contradiction. I'll give time. I will not go forward unless one of you told, except Kathy, Shivani. Right? Is the question clear to all of you? I am expecting from other people. You have to prove this. So now pk is 1 among q1, q2, qn. Then what is the problem? So I have pk divides n and pk is 1 among q1, q2, qn, and I have n equal to this part also. By using all these things, how do you get a contradiction? Achla.
Sir, I'm thinking.
You tell me now, just Achla, what is the things which you have with you?
So we know that PK is one of these QIs. And PK divides N.
PK divides N. Okay. Now I will ask one question to you. So PK is one among Q1, Q2, Qn, right? Hello, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now so only take this portion. This portion only here. So what you can say about PK and this number?
PK divides this.
So PK divides this and PK also divides
N. Yeah, so it divides the linear combination.
That's why I asked you. You told at that time, remember?
Yes, sir.
That's why I asked you. So PK divides this portion. PK divides entire portion. Entire portion is N. Then yeah, so linear
PK
combination
divides 1.
Now PK divides 1. So why? So it divides this quantity and it divides this number. So I divide their difference also. So those do 4 Q1, Q2, Qn gets cancelled, plus 1 will be left. So I'll get PK divides 1. So that is a contradiction. So done. Okay. So I'll repeat the proof once. So there are infinite number of primes of the form 4k plus 3. Suppose there are only finite number of primes of the form 4k plus 3. So Q1, Q2 up to Qn. So this is magic here. So this is as per the need we constructed this number. Earlier we constructed Q1 into Q2 into Qn plus 1. Okay. So Shivani gave at that time. Now we are giving this 4 into Q1 into Qn minus 1. Right. So this can be written like this. So why I wrote here to here, you know that these two are same form. Okay. 4k plus 3, but again to bring that. Not only that, by writing this way, I came to know that n is greater than 1. So every number greater than 1 can be written as product of primes. Now I am claiming that now n is of the form 4k plus 3. So at least one of these primes of the form 4k plus 3. If not, they're all of the form 4k plus 1. Product is also of the form 4k plus. That is a contradiction. So there is a prime which is of the form 4k plus 3. Once we prove that, but these are the only primes of the form 4k plus 3, this PK is one among them. Now PK divides n and PK divides this portion. So it divides 1. So that is a contradiction. Okay. So yeah, so I think so these are the items we have. So actually these are all theory, right? You will face some difficulty. That's why I'm going very slow. So I gave a gap and now I'm waiting, right? Okay, so just I'll clear it. So how many of you are now fine? Are you fresh now? Take a deep breath and fresh. I'll try to prove different things now. So please tick yes, you are ready. Once you are ready. Means I can go forward. If you are fine, please tick yes. I'm not asking you to answer any question. I'm asking. So take a deep breath and fresh, be fresh. So remaining half an hour to continue. Okay, great. Okay, thanks. Okay. See, I'll go very slowly. Okay. See, last time we proved the infinite number of primes in one of few approaches. Now today we'll try to prove in a different way. You will enjoy for sure. I'll constructing some numbers. Okay. A1 is equal to 1. My A2 is equal to A1 plus 1. My A3 is equal to A1 into A2 plus 1. Okay, I hope you understood. So somebody tell me that what is AM plus 1?
So A1 into A2 up to AM plus 1.
Right. You understood this. Okay, great. So now I can continue, right? This is a sequence. Okay. So it is A1, A2, like that. It is infinite sequence. So how many numbers are there? Infinite numbers are there, right? Okay. So, okay, now my claim is this. You take any two numbers here. Okay, let us take AN and AM, two numbers. Okay. My claim is that AN comma AM GCD is 1. Is it the question clear? I want to prove that AN comma AM GCD is 1. Okay. To make it more simplification. So since the N and M are two natural numbers, so I can assume that M is greater than N. Okay, I can assume M is greater than N. So because if the both are same numbers, okay, so it is they are not equal. If they are equal, then GCD becomes one of them only, AN only, right? I'm taking distinct numbers, okay? So you take A1, A2, GCD 1, A1, A3, GCD 1. That is easy because one of them is 1. But now I'm coming A2, A3 also GCD 1, A2, A4 also GCD 1. Like that, to take any two, their GCD is 1. That is what I have to prove. Is the question clear? Just tick if the question is clear. Question only. Don't look at for answer. Is the question clear? Very simple. Asan hai. Yeah. So I'm asking just this infinite sequence. You take any two terms, their GCD is 1. That much only. Okay, great. Now I want to prove it. How to prove it? Okay, I'll prove it now. Okay. So M is greater than N. So somebody can help me that. Yeah. So okay. Now I'll ask you one thing. So you do any one of you know the proof of this? I'll arrange.
Yes, sir.
Tell me proof then. Yes.
Sir, here we can say that means if we take -1 that side, so it will be A raised to M plus 1 minus 1.
A raised to? No, there is no raise.
Sorry. No.
Okay.
M plus 1.
Okay. Yeah, you only tell, but I just let us start. Okay. What is let us start means? I want to prove claim is this, right?
Yes, sir.
Now I suppose that AN comma AM GCD is equal to D leta hu, right? So required to prove RTP is that D is equal to 1. Okay. Yeah, this I need to show. But what do you mean by GCD of two numbers equal to D? D divides AN, D divides
AM.
This much is there. Okay. Now I am just giving all the ingredients, okay, to cook. So these are available with us. Now M greater than N. Now we can go ahead.
So, sir, we have M plus A, M plus 1 equals to this, the last statement which we have written.
Right.
So, sir, if we take 1 the other side, so it will be A raised to, sorry, A M plus 1 minus 1.
Correct.
Equals to this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm not writing. You just tell. No problem. It's clear. Everyone is understanding. AM so, plus 1 minus 1 is equal to A1, A2, AM. Yeah, correct.
So, sir, AM is one of the divisors of that.
Very good. Okay. Let us write what he is saying. So, M is greater than N. So, AM is equal to A1 into A2 into and so on. So, here I have somewhere AM minus 1 is there. Plus 1, right? This is what the definition of AM, product of the previous plus 1. But N is less than M. So can somebody tell me that where AN lies? So can I write like this? This is AN into X plus 1. Do you allow me? So how many of you allow me tick yes? Yeah, only one person. Because AN is one among them. AN is less than M. N is less than M. So A1, A2 up to AM minus 1. So AN is one among them. it is one among them, an into something plus plus 1, right? An into x plus 1. So I have am is equal to an into x plus 1. Okay, great. Now what is that we have now? D divides am and D divides an also. Now I want to show D equal to 1. Now how many of you able to tell? Now I'll clear it. Now tell me how many of you able to prove it? D equal to 1. Manan knows. Manan already told actually. I don't know how we got that idea, but he already told. Now I want to look at other people. Okay, so let us go again. Again, I go to Achla only. The same proof I am asking her several times. Okay. So
Yes, so D divides AM. This means D divides ANX plus 1.
D divides
and
AM, which is equal to ANX plus 1. Very good.
D divides AN also.
D divides AN also, right? This implies
so
D divides ANX also.
Right. Divides the linear combination. So
Yeah,
you
so,
have.
So D divide this number and D divide this number. Then.
So D divides
difference.
ANX plus 1 minus ANX.
So D divides 1. So D equal to 1. Is it clear? Yeah. Great. Nothing actually. See, it is a very intelligent way of proving. So AN is one of them. Then D divides AM, but AM equal to ANX plus 1. This is great, you told there. And then D divides AN also given to us. So D divides AN into X also. So D now divides. So now finally we are here. D divide this, D divide this. So D divide the difference. So D divides 1. Right? Yeah, done. Okay, what is that we proved now? All these numbers, their GCD is 1. How from that I can conclude that there are infinite number of primes. How? This is very interesting. If any one of you tell, then today I will be happy. I can even stop here also. Let us see. Let us see. Great. Okay. Think about carefully. It is not tough question also. Yeah. But I'll wait for you. Okay. What is that I'm telling? If I take any two of them, their GCD is 1. That I proved here. Okay. So earlier proof, those who do not understand, for them I'm telling a new proof here today. Okay. So I want to show that there are infinite number of primes, but for that I constructed a sequence, and I proved that if I took any two terms here, their GCD is 1. That I proved. Now from that I want to conclude there are infinite number of primes. How do I conclude? That is the question. Is the question clear, Shivani?
Yes, sir.
Great. You know the proof?
No, sir. Means
Okay.
still I'm thinking.
Think. Yeah.
Yes.
So one student already ticked yes. So who is that? Manan Takkar. So Manan, you have the proof? Do not tell the proof. You have the proof? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Okay, go ahead, Manan. Let us see.
Sir, so like first we can say that there are a finite number of terms.
No. This is infinite sequence. This is infinite sequence, right?
Yeah.
These are infinite. There are so many natural numbers are there. I constructed like this. Yeah. Okay. Now go ahead.
Sir, so at the end, can you just repeat the question once?
Now my question is that, see, I want to show infinitude of primes. There are infinite number of primes I want to prove. Okay, so but that I kept aside for some time. I constructed a sequence. I proved that in the sequence, any two number their GCD is 1. Okay, If you want, I can give exercise that. So construct sequences of this nature, other sequences. Okay, so you have infinite number of sequences. For example, you know Fibonacci numbers?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what are the Fibonacci numbers? 1.
Fibonacci was 1, 3, 5, 8.
So look at here, if I take, but here only consecutive are GCD 1. 2, 3 GCD is 1, 5, 3 GCD is 1, but 8 is also there. But 8, 2, 8 GCD is how much? 2. It is not 1. So this is not the sequence I am looking. I am looking the sequence that if I take any two of them, their GCD is 1. Okay.
Oh, yes, sir.
That is the sequence I constructed actually here. Okay, with starting with 1. Starting with 1, I constructed. So beautiful. So that is one thing we proved today. We constructed a sequence in which any two terms their GCD is 1. But okay, that is done. That is over. Now the new question is that we want to show infinite number of primes by using this sequence. By using this, I already have this.
So, no, sir, but it actually implies that there will be infinite primes, because prime number, the definition of prime is that if there are two primes, then the GCD will be 1. So like there are infinite number of terms in this.
Not that way. No. So that is not coming from, I am not using this sequence anyhow. So here I am not told these are prime numbers. Remember, I am not told these are prime numbers. These are only some numbers, some natural number, but their GCD is 1. I do not told A2 is a prime number, A3 is a prime number. No, it may. Okay, that is what last time also we confused. So of course A2 is prime. I know this is prime, but it is not prime every time. Is it okay, Manan?
Yes, sir, I got it.
Now you got it. So that is not proof. So yeah, somebody else now. Okay, so you do not got. So, but I'll give some hint. Then we'll go slowly. Okay, so every number greater than 1 has a prime factor. Do you remember that? Every number greater than 1 has a prime factor. Okay, I'm clearing. So then what happens? Just tell me that part. Don't worry about now final proof. What we can say about A2? A2 is greater than 1, right? Now what we can say about A2? A2, yeah, A2 is greater than 1. So
we can write A2 as P1 X.
No, that much also not required. A2 has a prime factor.
Okay.
Right?
Is it there okay? Exists P, yes.
There exists a prime P2 such that P2 divides A2. Okay. Now yes. A3 is also greater than 1.
So
no, don't tell Shivani. Now we can. Now A3 is also greater than 1. So every number greater than 1 has a prime factor. So this also has a prime factor. P3 divides A3. Like that, every guy here is greater than 1. They have a prime factor. Okay. Now GCD of any two numbers is 1. And these are infinite are there. Now tell me how primes are infinite. Now I want to check at least one of you got the answer. Proof that there are infinite number of primes.
Yes, sir.
Tell.
Sir, means we have created a sequence which is infinite, which has infinite numbers. And sir, we will have Pn, which is divided by a raised to, which will divide a raised to n.
An, yeah.
Where Pn is a prime. So like there are infinite number of primes.
No, we created that for each, we created infinite number of numbers and each number has a prime divisor except the first guy.
Yes, sir.
Each one has a prime divisor. Okay, now we need to show that they are all distinct.
Oh, they are all distinct. So
that we need to prove. That if we prove that they are all distinct, I am done. Because each number has one prime giving. This number is giving P2, this number is giving P3, this number is giving Pm plus 1. So each number is giving one prime factor. Right?
So we have proved that GCD is 1.
That is what exactly I'm telling. If the GCD is 1, then these primes are distinct.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
if they are equal, then they are dividing both of them. So then the contradiction, it contradicts GCD is 1. So proof is done. See, I do not told that infinite number of primes. I am telling follows directly once I construct a infinite sequence with GCD is 1. I am just saying that if I construct an infinite sequence of distinct numbers, their GCD is 1. I am telling that I proved it. How I proved it? Because every number greater than 1 has a prime factor. Okay, so how many of you understood now? Okay, don't worry, I'll know without repetition and all, whatever till now done, how many of you understood? Only 2, Kanishk and Manan, Kaustubh. Okay. So really understood, you will enjoy actually this part. But Achla has some problems. Okay. Suresh has some problems.
Sir, I got disconnected, so I couldn't hear that part.
Okay. Okay, no problem. We'll. So, but can I check with Kaustubh? Can you tell Kaustubh, are you okay?
Yes, sir.
You understood but unable to explain, like that you are in which situation? You understood but not explain, or I can explain which stage you are?
I think I can explain.
Okay, try then.
From the beginning, right?
Yeah, okay, just you tell that. I think Achala is clear with their GCD is 1, right, Achala?
Yes, sir.
So that much is known. We have infinite numbers, and if I take any 2 of them, their GCD is 1. That Achala knows.
Okay. And by the fundamental, we have infinitely many numbers, this sequence. By the fundamental theorem of arithmetic, we know that every number has a prime factor, or I mean, every number can be written as product of primes.
So automatically it has a prime factor. Yes.
So A2 will be, there exists some P2 that is prime, which divides A2. And similarly for A3 and AM plus 1.
Very good.
So we have to prove that all of them are distinct.
Very good.
So we can prove that. But if some of them...
No, wait, Achila, now can you tell me now why they are all distinct?
So we know that GCD of AI, AJ is 1.
Very good. So if there are 2 of them are equal, then GCD 1 will fail. That's fundamental.
Yes,
so see, it is a simple application of every number greater than 1 has a prime factor. Bus and the matter. So only thing we need to show is that there exists infinite sequence, their GCD is 1. Okay, great. So even if you do not understand this proof, now I'll give another proof. Okay. So earlier in the last class, we done one proof. Okay, so there is a limited time, but even then, okay, but I'll give the proof, complete proof later. But today I'll just tell you that. So the sigma 1 by n is divergent. Now I'm using the sequence analysis. You are comfortable then. So you know that this n is equal to 1 to infinity summation 1 by n is a divergent sequence series. I think some of you may not know, right? Kanishk, you do not know, right?
Yes, sir. I
okay. Okay. See, I'll tell you what it actually means. Okay, summation n is equal to 1 to infinity 1 by n means 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4 plus and so on. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
It is infinite sum. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So is it possible to add infinite sum?
No, I think
in general it is difficult. It is because see, there are infinite numbers. You start adding 1 plus 1 by 2 and all. So our life is limited. We'll live at most 100 years, right? So you get married, you get children, and all those things are happening, but you cannot stop. Keep on, other numbers are coming. You are adding. You are not doing any job. मान लो आपको पैसा है आपके पास, okay, but you never complete it. So that's why in mathematics, without actually adding, it is possible to find whether actually is a finite quantity or not. Is it a finite quantity or not? For example, 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 2 cube plus and so on. You know how much this is equal to? Kanishk, you do not know, right?
No, sir. I don't.
Okay, no, you do not know, no problem. You do not know, right? I'll try to explain with this. So let us take, I took this one, rectangle. Okay, this side length is 1, this side it is 2. Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Now I divide this into here. Okay, now this side is 1, this side is 1. Okay.
Yes.
What is the area of this one?
So area of this.
This portion.
So
this
one,
right? Yeah. Why
yeah.
you are inconfident? Yeah, confident. It is 1, right?
Yes, sir.
This area also 1. Okay, but I'm not going into that. I'll just divide here half. Okay. Now this is half. This is how much?
This is half.
This here, from here to here.
So 1.
Now can you tell me what is the area of this portion?
So it is half.
Okay, I am adding here. Okay. Now I'll make half here. Okay. Are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
So this is 1/2 and this is also
1/2.
What is area of this portion?
So 1/4.
1/4. Right?
Yes, sir.
Now I'll take half here. Okay. So this is 1/2, this is 1/4 right now.
Yes, sir.
What is the area of this portion?
So it is 1/2,
this is 1/2.
1/8.
This is 1/8. Are you seeing this? I am getting 1/2 plus 1/2 square plus 1/2 cube and on.
Yes, sir.
Now I'll again divide. Now what is the area of this portion? 1/16.
1/16. Yes.
Like that. So you keep on doing. You never complete, but you can predict what is the answer, final answer.
So 1. No, not
total
1.
Answer. No, it is area, right? Area of this portion plus 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 keep on doing dot. So finally, what is your answer?
Sir,
area of entire rectangle.
Yes, sir. It is area of entire rectangle.
What is the answer now?
So it is 2.
It is 2. You are correct. Okay, but how do you prove it? That's the different case. Okay. Don't worry, I'm just geometrically, intuitively I told. Now we need to prove it algebraically, complete proof of dena padega. But you can guess this much, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great. So that's what, without actually adding, I'm able to guess that. So that's we'll prove later. So now this 1/n summation 1/n is divergent. Means it is not a finite quantity. Okay, it is not a finite quantity. That I want to show. 1 by summation 1/n means what? 1/2 plus 1/3 plus 1/5 and so on. Is it okay, Kanishk?
Yes, sir. It is.
Yeah. So now I'll take I will take this guy here, right? Not this guy. Okay, let us keep this one as it is. So I added I just bracket here. I put bracket 1/4, 1/5 plus 1/6 plus 1/7 plus 1/8 plus. Can you tell me the next bracket पे क्या होगा?
So it will be, I think,
1/9 plus
1/9 plus 1/10
up to last one.
So last one will be,
just guess, don't worry, this is an open question. So I added 3 terms. Very good. I don't know how you got, but very great. Yeah, 15, correct. Okay, so you guessed that here 2 square, here 2 cube, like that. Okay, great. Now so let us look at this 1/3 plus 1/4. Okay, is it greater than 1/4 plus 1/4?
No, sir.
No.
Sorry, sir. Wait a minute.
You have a cake that divided into 3 parts. You have a cake that is divided into 4 parts. Like, okay. So what is the relation between 1/3 and 1/4?
So 1/3 is greater than 1/4.
Yeah. So
Yes, yes, it is greater.
It is greater than, right? 1/3 cake, we have a cake and you have 1/3 of the portion, 1/4 of the portion. This will get more, right? Yeah, this is
Yes,
greater
sir.
than this. So, but this is equal to how much?
So it is equal to
1/2, right? Now 1/5 plus 1/6 plus 1/7 plus 1/8. Is it greater than 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8?
Yes, sir, it is greater.
Is right? 1/5 is greater than 1/8. 1/6 is greater than. So it is total equal to how much now?
So it is equal to 1/2.
1/2 again, right? So now this quantity is greater than 1 plus 1/2 plus. So up to here equal. 1 equal to 1, 1/2 equal to 1/2. But this is greater than 1/2. So this is greater than 1/2. This is greater than 1/2, right? So now 1/2 plus 1/2 is how much?
So it is 1.
So 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus like that, right?
Yes, sir.
They're infinite. So again, I'll get sequence. So 1 plus 1 plus 1, keep on adding. What is going to happen? Is it a finite quantity?
No, sir, it is not a finite.
Right? You are every day you earn 1 rupee also. Of course, assume that your life is infinite. Then you can earn so many money. Okay, infinite money. It is not a finite quantity. So what is the conclusion now?
So that
summation 1 by n is not convergent.
Is not convergent. So convergent means that it can
finite
be
quantity. It has a finite quantity.
Okay, sir.
But now it is not have a finite quantity. So I will use this to prove primes are infinite in the next class. Those who can have a class, please leave now. Yeah. So I hope other people have a class. So it is not good to continue now. I'll stop here.